There have been quite a few reports in the British media recently about Morocco, and not in a good way. There's stories in the Daily Mail and the Sun newspaper and various other outlets in Britain that claim that Morocco is going to cull 3 million stray dogs in the lead up to the World Cup in 2030. It's not only the UK that's running these stories, also they appear in France and even in India. So as a Brit living here in Morocco, I thought I would give you my interpretation of what is going on here. So the big question is, I suppose, is the government going to kill 3 million stray dogs before 2030? Honestly, I don't think so. But I don't really think that that's the point of what's going on here, really. Morocco has a problem with dogs, but more so, it has a problem with how it treats its dogs. And I think the way that Morocco treats its dogs is the cause of the problem that it has. So let me give you an experience that I have with the way Moroccans treat dogs here. I remember once being out, just went out for a walk, and I saw two lads, maybe early teens they were, and one of them was holding up a puppy, and the other boy had stones, and he was going to throw the stones at the puppy. They were actually using this puppy as a target. And immediately I saw that, I intervened and I stopped what they were doing. But crucially, around them, very close to them, were some adults. And they said and did nothing at all. And they knew perfectly what these boys were going to do. And it wasn't until I intervened that these adults also intervened. And I truly believe that if I hadn't been there, they would have stoned this puppy. Now, I am not saying that all Moroccans, or even most of Moroccans, are capable of doing such a horrible act. But there are enough Moroccans here that would do that, and certainly who think that it's not that great a problem, that there are greater issues in Morocco than just how we treat its dogs. And this is why whether the government is going to kill 3 million dogs or not is not really the issue. It's a much bigger issue than this, because it's an issue about how Moroccans treat dogs in general. Definitely, I believe dogs are being killed. I think people are going out under their own volition and just stoning dogs, poisoning them, or shooting them. I think it does happen, and it happens on a big enough scale for it to be a problem in Morocco. So whether the government is trying to kill 3 million dogs or not, it's not the point. And I don't think they are. But there is already enough cruelty towards dogs in Morocco to know that there is a problem anyway, whether the government is killing 3 million of them or not. It's a huge shame. Morocco doesn't know what it is missing because of the way it treats dogs. And Morocco doesn't realize that the treatment itself is causing the problem. Because dogs are, without doubt, man's best friend. Dogs are the bridge between the human world and the animal world. Loyalty to humans is part of a dog's DNA. And when we don't treat them well, they can't give us the love, the service, the protection. You can see that Moroccan dogs are scared of humans. You see that just by the way that they respond when they are around humans. So what needs to change is not the dogs, it's the humans. Moroccans need to understand that dogs don't carry disease. They're not dangerous. You know, often Moroccans are scared of dogs. And when a dog barks at a human here in Morocco, it's because they are scared. It's a defensive bark. It's not an aggressive or attacking bark. But Moroccans don't seem to understand that. Not all of them do anyway. So there is this disconnect between Moroccans and dogs, and it's a lose-lose situation. The dogs suffer because of this. They are malnourished. They often have illnesses and diseases, and they become really defensive. And humans miss out because they don't get the protection and services that dogs would offer humans if Moroccans would just give them the chance. So I don't think it matters whether the government is killing 3 million dogs or not, but I do think the government could do something. The government needs to show how useful dogs can be. You know, one of the things that I find amazing about Morocco is that there are no guide dogs here. You see blind people, they just have sticks. And I think introducing guide dogs is a way of showing Moroccans another side to what it is to have dogs. In the 11 years that I've lived here, I have never seen a dog on public transport. I don't know whether they are banned from being on public transport, but I feel very certain that if you were to try and take a dog onto a bus or a tram, the driver would say no. Passengers would say no. In the United Kingdom, it's very common to see dogs on public transport. So this disconnect between humans and dogs in Morocco is what is causing the problem. And if Moroccans just were more friendly towards dogs, there wouldn't be as many strays, there wouldn't be as much disease and illness amongst dogs, there wouldn't be as much malnutrition amongst dogs, there would be a greater connect between dogs and humans, there would be opportunities for dogs to support Moroccans in so many ways. So it doesn't matter whether the government is or isn't killing 3 million dogs. What does matter is the government does seem to be somewhat, not exactly, but somewhat ignoring the issues that Morocco has about dogs. Certainly they are not addressing the huge problem that is the Moroccan culture towards dogs. And that has to change, because until it does, Morocco will always have stray dogs, dogs that are ill, dogs that are being very defensive. And Morocco will always lose out when it comes to the opportunity of dogs serving people. So, yeah, I honestly don't think the Moroccan government is killing 3 million dogs. But I also think the Moroccan government could do more to encourage a change in Moroccan attitudes towards dogs. Introduce a guide dog program in Morocco. Let Moroccans see dogs helping blind people, helping people who are ill. Let's foster and develop a better communication between Moroccans and dogs. And then the problems we have with dogs here in Morocco will just disappear. And dogs will have a great life here, and humans will have a great life here. And what is there not to like about that?